in the parched desert sands of ancient Osirian.
Long-forgotten secrets are becoming unearthed
that could threaten the security of the entire region.
Through cursed tombs, undead crypts, and towering pyramids,
our unlikely band of heroes must rise to the challenge
and find the secrets of
the Mummy's Mask.
Last time on the Mithril Tabletop.
This hieroglyphic image of Horus reach out and his arm kind of like extends past the wall in three-dimensional shape and lunges out towards Tanhi to try and shove her.
I am dying too.
With 0 hit points.
Yes! How does he die?
I just decimate him.
The Akhat seems to be repairing the building as it needs to.
And then he's just gonna say, "Go for it, Keryth."
Yes!
That is a crit.
Yes!
Nice.
27 points of damage.
And the ceiling begins to crack and crumble and fall down.
Welcome everyone to the Mithril Tabletop. This is Erin, the voice of your favorite Magus. I'm so glad you all are tuning in today. As always, we appreciate you listening to our podcast, and we would really love to hear what you all think. You can always leave comments on one of our social platforms. We have YouTube, TikTok, Insta. You could also email us. Our information is always going to be in the description for each episode. In today's episode, we get to see a little bit more of Tariq's dramatic side as we resolve the mystery of the cracking ceiling that our GM so kindly left us on in last week's episode. There may be some reasons behind Tariq's trauma drama, you may say, and I don't really want to spoil a whole lot for this episode, but I will say that way back in episode 8, if you've been following along since then, I hinted at a fear of Tariq's that kind of explains some of his behavior, especially when it comes to him being prim and proper a lot of the times and caring a lot about his looks. And that might be one of the reasons behind his little drama fit that you will see today. And that's all I really want to say for right now, because I don't want to spoil too much for you guys. So how about we get right into it and see what happens to him this week in episode 29, Rest in Peace.
All right. Well, last week things were going pretty rough, but more rough for one particular person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everything is perfectly fine.
But listen, despite you're fine. You're fine. You're simply one crit away from permanent death. You're fine.
I'm not. Okay, maybe.
But oftentimes when we're at our lowest, we look to our inspiration to help us through and guide us through these times of troubles. So it got me thinking, what do you guys like, who inspires you guys? If your character had to look at someone and be like, you know what, that guy, that person, that woman, that lady, that thing, that entity, you inspire me, my guy, my girl, my whatever. I want to be more like you. What is that for your characters? Your thoughts?
Obviously, for Khepri, it's Septi the crocodile.
Very clearly so, yep. Indeed.
And Toothy the crocodile would have to be on there, too. Toothy's got it made, okay? Toothy gets to sit in the pub all day and sit in his own little pool, and people come and look at him. He's got it made.
Yeah. You guys haven't hung out with whatchamacallit, Toothy in a hot second.
I know, I missed the tooth and hookah.
I imagine while we were out gallivanting about, getting everybody supplies, while Ramses was resting, I imagine Khepri snuck down and was, spending some time with him.
Of course, yeah, I have to give him little lovin's because he needs little lovin's.
He's so little, he needs the little lovin's.
Exactly.
What is it about Septi the crocodile that inspires Khepri so?
She's so poised. So Khepri is very devoted to Nethys, and I know that Septi is more devoted to Pharasma, but she's so poised and so together, and Khepri looks up to that because Khepri feels very erratic a lot of the time, like she's not organized. She feels like she's constantly changing her mind, and she hopes to grow into somebody who is organized and has a lot of poise and grace.
Yeah, I mean, she's the high priestess, and she's super young to be a high priestess, too. She seems like she's got her shit together.
Exactly. So Khepri always looks at her and is like, wow, she's so cool.
Well, what about the bigger little brother, Tariq? I assume you don't find the same kind of inspiration from Septi the crocodile, but do you have someone who does?
He has a different kind of
Well,
inspiration
he admires
from
her,
Septi.
that's for sure.
Oh,
But
I'm sure he admires her.
His is very cheesy. Get ready for the cheese.
Ready, I like cheese.
Don't.
He
Wait,
admires
go ahead.
his adoptive parents, mostly because when he was taken in, he was basically a street kid. And that in of itself is kind of telling that someone's willing to take in this, kid who maybe not be as morally good as he's supposed to be because he's had to fend for himself on the streets. But then also because they were halflings and they were willing to adopt a human, which is just kind of going out of their way, I guess. And probably they got funny looks anytime they were doing things as a family, that they had this human boy following them around everywhere and be like, oh, well, he's our son. And like the looks that they got. And I think that, that's part of like why he kind of wants to present himself in the best light as possible, because he still sometimes like gets like people want to look, he feels like if he doesn't, people look down on him for being that street kid, but he's always been thankful and appreciative that his parents were willing to like not even just be adopted, but like kind of adopt an older kid, because that's even in real life that's a difficulty. He was around 12.
Yep.
12?
Yeah.
Yeah, almost a teenager. Oof, that's
so
a rough age.
That's a rough
too.
age, and
that's a very rough age.
That's a hard age, and those kids always have a hard time finding people who want to even foster or adopt them. So he's always been grateful and admire his parents for willing to take any flack they got from adopting a street kid.
Our parents are wonderful.
True.
Yeah, I hope you guys find them soon.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Seriously.
But someone who doesn't have maybe
hope
the
they're
best
not
parents
dead.
ever.
I thought you were about to say someone who doesn't have parents.
Well, Habibi does have parents, but we've already seen a snippet into his home life. They're not exactly supportive. They look down upon him. They don't take him seriously. Habibi, is there someone? Don't say Tanhi. Is there someone you admire?
Don't say
But you can say Tanhi's mom.
Tanhi's mom.
I'm not allowed to say
That's a
Tanhi, my
loophole.
best friend who inspires
Oh
me
my
every
gosh.
single day.
Oh, so cheesy. I'm lactose intolerant. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's
All right.
true.
I know. Well, we all admire our friends, but what is it about Tanhi specifically?
So, what inspires Habibi the most is confidence in people. And so, it's like Tanhi especially, exhibits confidence all the time. Like, she knows what she's doing. She has definitely got a handle on things. And she is very comfortable in being herself.
So very similar to Khepri and Septi in that manner.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys see the person you want to be in the other person.
Yes.
I like that. All right. What about you, Tanhi?
So everyone is going to expect me to say Habibi, and
Oh.
there are a lot of things that Tanhi admires about Habibi, like obviously best friends, that kind of thing. But I think Tanhi admires Keryth more.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't
Plot
see this
twist.
coming.
Yeah, and the main reason is like, and it's gonna sound, oh my god, now that I'm thinking about it, it's gonna sound so bad. Even though Keryth, like, his inventions mess up a lot, like,
Feels a lot.
like because of like the overdrive, he still does it. Tanhi hasn't experienced a lot of failures, like, because and this is kind of stereotypical, but she's like the big dumb, like, let me just bam bam kind of thing.
She's
like,
not
not that
dumb,
dumb.
though.
Like,
Tanhi
yeah.
is very
No.
intelligent.
but you know what I mean? Like, that's what she's perceived as. Like, she's not an inventor. Like,
She's the brute.
yes, like, she's frontline. Like, she'll take the hits kind of thing. But Keryth,
Not very subtle.
Keryth, has these inventions, and like, that is like his thing. Like, he is very smart. Like, Tariq is smart, but Tariq is also a frontliner with Tanhi. And obviously Habibi and Khepri have their own things, like they're, like Habibi is very religious and Khepri is very nature, but Keryth, like, Tanhi can see Keryth just taking something and just create, like, he just sees Keryth creating these things, and she's like, what? Like, I can't do that. Like, that is awesome.
He almost sees things in the raw materials that other people might not notice.
Right.
Like, ooh, I can take all this and make it this brand new thing.
Yes.
Keryth definitely, probably, possibly goes dumpster diving.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that.
That's a very interesting answer. You're right. That does surprise me. Well, I have a question for Keryth then. Is Keryth kind of like, I mean, you can answer the other question, obviously, but is Keryth kind of like would he be the Thomas Edison, like, viewpoint where, like, somebody's like, hey, you failed a lot. How does that make you feel? Don't you feel sad? It's like, no, I just found 1,000 ways to not to do it instead of, like, would he look on the positive side of things?
Probably, especially, like, with how long he's lived now. Because he's, I actually have it on that page. He's over 200 years old now, so he's probably failed a lot.
More times than succeeded.
Hey, now.
I'm just saying, statistically speaking.
And the failures, like, before weren't all, like, combat related, because this is probably, the first times that he's really dealing with combat stuff. But, like, when it comes to his various inventions, I mean, we've described it before in the past that Tanhi's dad, who works in city government or something like that, is very aware of the fact that the fire department gets called to Keryth's workshop a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, I mean, and I feel like this also comes from, like, my personal viewpoint on, like, making mistakes too. Like, yeah, you make mistakes, but if you learn from them, then you're going to do better next time. Like,
they're not little mistakes, they're happy little accidents.
So, Keryth, as a 200-year-old elf, though, who would you admire?
I feel like Keryth probably got kind of, like, disenchanted with a lot of people because, like, his whole background is he was not the greatest person until he got an interest in like archaeology and inventing, and now it's also dipped a little bit onto the magical side of things. And he dealt with, like, a lot of not so great people in the past, so, like, it's probably really refreshing for him dealing with these youngins in the party. And, actually going on adventures and stuff now, giving him a fresh perspective. But as for who he would probably admire, and this may come as a shock, but I'm going to have to say Tariq.
I knew it! I knew you were going to say that! I knew it!
I love it!
I knew it!
It's not
Romance.
that shocking. But in all truth, Tariq really does admire Keryth too, so it's two ways.
Because,
to
like...
Yeah. You guys like to play with your sticks.
Oh my god!
Oh, goodness.
Like,
why?
I could make it worse.
Those jokes should be funny, not disturbing, okay?
They almost have, like, this almost like a sibling rivalry thing going on. Like, they're not actually siblings, but that's kind of how it feels. Cause,
yeah,
like,
Keryth is the much older brother. Tariq is the younger brother trying to, like, prove himself. He's just the younger brother in general.
Because siblings that are close, like, they'll rib each other, like, teasing and stuff like that. But I think that Keryth would definitely admire Tariq. He will probably never, ever admit that out loud.
No, of course not. He would never admit it. And if you did, he would deny it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think he would admire Tariq because Tariq has had some ups and downs too, with everything that's gone on since we've started this, and had to do some kind of discovering of himself a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I think that aspect is kind of where Keryth admires him. Like, he's so young to Keryth and has gone through some shit. Like, I mean, he supposedly like lost his birth parents to get adopted by Khepri's family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
he's gone through a lot.
And he's so young too. Like he's only 23. He's had a rough childhood.
Yeah, so I think like it's kind of that aspect of Tariq that Keryth admires. Kind of like that tenacity to keep going, even if he is a little, goofy and show-offy. But we know it's all a facade, so.
Well, it's not just the characters that admire Keryth, but also the players too. For this week's hero point goes to none other than Katie and Keryth. This was a very close call, as everyone played a fantastic game last session. But how can MVP not go to Keryth with that hashtag takedown?
Oh my god! Who did it?
Hashtag revenge.
That could have been anyone, honestly.
I vote for Keryth. Hashtag nothing gonna keep him down.
Did you guys just start a separate group chat to torture me?
No,
this
hashtag revenge, hashtag dog days.
I just want you to know that when we decided like 4 episodes ago that we were always going to do hashtags on your MVPs, we meant it. It was always going to happen.
If I had joined that agreement for someone else, I would have forgot. Because I'm a scatterbrain.
Well, you got one more vote for you, Keryth. MVP to Keryth for that awesome hashtag takedown. Blah, blah, blah. I was told to say the blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
But really, this group would not be the same without Keryth. And then honorable mentions go to Tariq for restraining the jackal and giving Keryth that perfect opportunity to get his prone revenge. And then finally, an honorable mention to our cleric Habibi for being our healing machine. Shout out to Khepri for trying to help with the healing as well.
Aw, thank you. She tried. She's tiny. She can only do so much.
All right. Well done, everyone. But it's not over yet. Because this is the third session in a row of this same combat.
I'm so tired of it.
Not done.
I'm so tired.
All right, guys, this is the episode to bring down the roof. Come on.
Speaking of bringing down the roof, thanks for the shout out. Thanks for the segue.
You're welcome.
When we last left our heroes, they had finally finished off every single last of these skeletal jackals. Remember, freshly made skeletal jackals.
That's
What could have caused them to be skeletal? That's something to look into. Hint,
maybe
nudge, nudge,
someone caving in the roof.
I don't know, but we're bringing down the roof as this Akhat, the spirit entity of this entire temple of the Sanctum of the Erudite Eye, brings down a portion of the roof above Tariq and Ramses, and I need the two of them to roll me a reflex save.
Ramses rolled a 30.
Oh, fuck off.
Ramses is a dog. He's an expert
We're starting
at
off
reflex.
strong.
All right, well, good job on Ramses. Critical success, no damage. Tariq, what'd you get?
17.
Oof, that is a failure, my friend.
Oh.
You are going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. Not
That's
too shabby.
rude.
I feel like there's more coming. Knew
There
that.
is more coming.
Oh no.
On a failure, the creature is also restrained under the rubble.
How do we get him out?
He just has to pull himself out of the rubble.
What is that?
Are you
athletics?
ready to rubble?
Get out of here.
Can we
Okay.
aid it
Episode
all?
title? Yeah, you can try to aid him, like try pulling him out. All right, Habibi, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I don't know what we're doing, guys. Are we going to try to leave and then...
Tariq says under the pile of stone.
Is the thing deactivated right now?
No.
Not quite. It did seem to take some damage to itself, like its structural integrity or its ability to maintain its presence in the building has been hindered. However, you do feel its presence still within this room, within the entire building, so to speak. It doesn't feel like it's as potent as it was not too long ago. So if maybe you keep wailing on it for a little bit longer, it might go into hibernation for a little while.
So I need to try to hurt the thingy?
Sure, if you want. How are you going to try to hurt it?
I used electric arc against it, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it took it all.
Oh, I have electric arc.
Yay!
I
Electric
I'm like,
Art Club! Zippity zap, don't look back.
Zap,
Zap,
Let's
zap.
go. Let's see what you got.
Zappity
Reflex
zap.
save. Here we go. How much damage did I take?
8.
All right. It's going to take 4, as I got a 21 on the reflex save.
And for my final action, I'm going to move into the middle of the room.
Perfect. All right, Tanhi, it is your turn.
So I guess I'm gonna hit the pillar again.
You just keep taking your action, whacking at it.
Yeah.
It seems to be working.
I guess so.
7 on the die for an 18.
18 hits.
Okay. Ooh, not great damage. 10 points.
10 points of damage. Yeah, not all of that's going to go through.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. Second hit. Oh. 2 on the die for an 8.
Oh.
No, get out of here. Critical miss.
The wall hits you.
You trip over your shoelaces.
Right.
Your bootlaces.
Does
Tanhi wear boots?
Yeah, no.
Kind of? Not really.
No.
They're kind of like open-toed kind of things, like, so it protects the bottom of her feet, but, like, obviously not on top because, like, can you imagine furred feet inside boots?
Oh, jeez.
Oh
So
my
like
God.
sandals.
Yeah. But like they don't go between her toes because those bother her. Anyways,
I love this little fact about Tanhi.
It's a very good attention to detail.
13 on the die for 14.
14 also misses. You like slash at the pillar, and you seem like you see a crack show up on the stone, but the spirit of the building seems to have moved elsewhere. All right, Tariq, it is your turn. You are beneath this pile of rubble. What do you want to do about it?
I don't know. It just seems so comfy down here. I might just start pulling some more on top of me, almost like a dirt.
Oh, whatever. Okay, all right, Mr. Attitude and Sass Master. What are you actually gonna do?
I guess pick myself up if no one's helping me.
All right, go ahead and try escape. You can roll acrobatics, athletics, or like an unarmed attack to try and like push some of it off.
18.
18 is just shy of a success. You're like trying to lift some of this rubble, and you're like, ugh, and it slips at the last second and falls back down on your thigh.
Ow.
Apparently his arms are just totally weakened by this rubble with no one to help him. He rolled
Okay.
13.
No, 13 fails. You have one last action, minus 10. Try again. Come on, you can get a natural 20. You got this. Natural 20? Yes? No? No.
No, but it was a 19 on the die, but technically that's a 9, but that does make it 19 total.
A 19 total is the DC exactly,
Yay!
and you managed to finally slip your way out of beneath this rubble.
So he's going to, of course, like, brush himself off, and then just be like, thanks, guys.
Thanks
job,
for the help. I'll
Tariq.
remember this. I'll mention you guys all in therapy.
He's writing in his journal.
In his journal.
The group refused to help me when I was buried alive in the rubble.
Khepri didn't have a chance to help you.
All right, Katie. Keryth, it is your turn.
Is there any kind of a check I can do to try and figure out where this thing is at?
It is all around you. Anywhere you strike at the building is where it is.
Okay, that works. Let me check something real quick. Oh wait, no, I can't do that because I can't use anything with the unstable trait because we're still in fucking initiative.
Bitter.
It's been a long fight. It's been a long, hard fight.
Yeah, it has. Instead, I'm just gonna hit the wall really fucking hard with the Megaton Strike. I've got
go
multiple
for it.
walls in front of me. Why not? So 2 actions to do Megaton Strike.
And
11 on the die for a 21.
21's a hit, not a crit.
Nice.
16 points of damage.
All right, so it takes 11 points of damage. It still has hardness. All right, you have 1 action remaining, Keryth. What would you like to do?
All right, I'm gonna attack again. Final action.
Final action?
Oh. Probably not. That one is a 6 on the die for an 11.
Nope. Khepri, it is your turn. Let's see what this tiny little halfling can do.
Since we're still in initiative, she can't refocus yet. So what she's gonna do is send another electric arc at the wall.
Fair enough. You guys are running low on resources for this fight. Well, that's alright. Let's see. Reflex save. Ooh, 26. Success?
Success.
Not a critical success.
Correct.
Alright, how much damage?
It was 9, so you'll take 4.
Alright, 4 points of damage. Alright. This thing is feeling a little beat up. It's not completely destroyed, but you do feel its presence retreating.
Oh.
And it's going to end this encounter for now.
Oh, good. I can refocus. Come here, Ramses, baby. I'm gonna pet you while I try to refocus. So, as Khepri's sitting here, trying to refocus, she is also trying to pull herself back together. She watched Keryth go down, and she really likes Keryth. He's a very good friend of hers, and she wants to make sure everybody stays safe and alive. So she is a little shaken up. She's not going to show anybody that, but she is definitely trying to prepare herself to the best of her ability, because if anything happens, she wants to be ready to help.
Tariq is just, other than being still salty at, no one even being concerned.
Whatever.
He's like,
You were
going around.
fine.
He's going around and he is studying, kind of the remains of the jackals and jotting down his, the notes that they learned about these jackals, and then also taking notes about what he and the others have learned so far about, this, Akhat. So he's just kind of doing that, and I don't know if you would need any more perception checks for the jackal, because I think we kind of pretty much got those covered, right?
Well, what are you trying to learn about the jackals? If you're
Well,
trying to learn
just
something?
anything, because we only really learned their resistances, right?
Mm-hmm.
In case we come up across these again, you never know.
Tell you what, if you want to roll a medicine check, I can tell you how fresh they are.
Ooh.
Well, that's not going to do anything. So,
I can roll a medicine check.
okay.
Sure thing.
Hey, Habibi, come take a look at this. Do you think you can figure anything out about this?
Let me see.
All right. Tariq, surprising no one, you don't know anything about these things.
Oh, no.
I have a +0 to medicine, of course.
Habibi, on the other hand, you know that these things aren't just fresh. They're extremely fresh. They're like less than a day old.
Oh.
Someone turned these jackals into undead jackals very recently. And
Oh, what
being
if
turned into-
Valriana's a necromancer?
I was wondering that, too.
Ooh.
Being turned into undead, however, has caused their flesh to decay very quickly. So if you had not already identified them as undead and learned about their skeletal nature, you would have assumed they were probably zombies. But their flesh is quickly falling off of their body in like heaps and chunks. And, well, now that they're all dead, it doesn't really matter. But the decay process can now proceed as normal. But, yeah, these things seem to have died within the 24 hours.
That's terrifying.
I have to say, Habibi, it was actually quite cool getting to see you take on some undead and everything. Like, you did pretty good damage against these things. Go clerics.
Well, thank you. I don't, choose the offensive very often, but I like to be able to try new things. And, I just need to get out of my shell sometimes.
How's Keryth feeling after all this?
He decides to basically fall down onto the ground while he is fixing his spear so that he can do unstable stuff again later. But yeah, he is exhausted after that.
Was that the closest you ever gone to death?
For Keryth, I think so.
He was at dying 3, wasn't he?
Yeah, because I don't have the feat where you can wait until it's dying 5. The only feat I have that would have helped is toughness, which lowers the DC for the recovery check, but we didn't even get to that point because Khepri and Habibi did healing, so...
So, when you go down to dying, you immediately stop the dying process when you are healed, no matter what the number is?
So, mechanically speaking, you become wounded if you recover from dying. Wounded is basically just like an in-combat tracker to make whenever you go back, it's like even closer to death. But the only way to get rid of wounded is to either treat wounds with medicine or to fully heal and rest for 10 minutes.
So, like, when he was healed, he went to wounded 2, right?
Or
was
you
he...
only ever increase the wounded condition by 1. The level of your dying condition beforehand does not matter. You can be dying. You can be dying 3.5 and like half a dying step away from permanent death, fully healed and wounded 1.
Okay, but once you get brought down again, you're immediately dying 2.
Exactly, unless it's a crit, in which case it's just
dying 3.
Yep,
or just dying.
or just dead.
Or just dead.
It depends on how wounded he is beforehand. But yeah,
just dead.
Is there anything that
is kind of like that?
There's something that's like there are some spells that like skip the dying, right? Because like disintegrate or something like that.
Yeah, there are some spells where if you fail or critically fail the save, it'll say like in the description, like a creature that fails this save immediately dies.
That's terrifying that that's an option.
There's also the doomed condition, since we're talking about
what
happens when you die.
You don't see that a lot, though.
Doomed reduces the dying value at which you would permanently die. So if you have, like, normally people die at dying 4, doomed reduces that to dying 3. Doomed 2 reduces that to dying 2. If you ever if you ever have doomed value high enough that you, like, any dying would just permanently kill you, you just permanently die. So, like, let's say dying 4 kills you. If you're doomed 4, you're dead.
Well, while Habibi is refocusing after doing all those lay on hands, I imagine he's praying to Osiris, and he says something like this. Are you there, Osiris? It's me, Habibi. We just returned a bunch of undead jackals to the boneyard. Keryth almost joined them, but with your help, I was able to keep them with us. No one else was hurt that badly. I mean, like, some ceiling fell on Tariq, but I feel like he overreacted a little bit. I hope we make it through this, and if you're listening, we could probably use some extra help.
Habibi, you feel a slight warmth flow through you as a response to this prayer.
I feel all warm and fuzzy. Should we do some perceptions?
Sure. Absolutely. Go ahead and roll your perceptions, por favor.
What can we see?
All right, as you guys step closer and closer out of the Hall of Illumination, the entrance hall to the Sanctum of the Erudite Eye, you proceed through into the nave, to the main central portion of the temple. Many of the main services would happen. You see people would probably come here and prostrate themselves in front of this giant statue on the other side of the hall of Nethys. Let me describe this room real quick, because this is gigantic. This room is perfectly dark. There are no openings to the outside world. There's no sources of light, no windows. Everything is pitch black darkness in here, except for the light coming in from the main hall. Space and elevation lend a sense of past grandeur and majesty of this large space. A large star-shaped fountain with a circular pool in the center sits in the middle of this chamber. The bottom of the pool is decorated with a great mosaic eye made from tiny colored tiles, and hieroglyphs are carved into the paving stones ringing the fountain. So the entire fountain is beautifully decorated with all these hieroglyphs and symbols declaring themselves as like worship of Nethys. You see 2 rows of columns mirroring the same rows of columns you saw in the Hall of Illumination to the south. At the far end of this hall, there is a massive statue with arms raised overlooking the entire length of the temple. The statue is about 20 feet tall, and the ceiling here is about 40 feet high, arching up into this massive dome at the top. This temple is huge, and you can only feel a sense of wonder as you walk in here. And as you walk in here, I imagine like Tariq lighting this place up, and it's like that scene from Lord of the Rings where Gandalf is like, "Behold, the dwarf city of
That's
whatever."
What I was imagining.
Yep, exactly that. Like you see the gigantic pillars, you see the massive vaulted ceilings. This place is truly a magnificent temple dedicated to Nethys.
Tariq is a little bit in awe, and you know he said before he's not super religious, but Nethys is the kind of the god of his family and everything like that. Kind of like how people serve sometimes as a tradition to one certain god, and so Tariq is just going to kind of kneel in front of this fountain here, and he's just going to kind of I guess meditate a little bit Even though I know Nethys isn't really like the god who concerns himself too much with people, but he's just going to take the moment in like this temple to, say a prayer for a moment or two.
Reverend yourself towards him a little bit,
Yeah.
As you kneel down and you're looking closer at this fountain, perhaps praying, you open your eyes a little real quick, and you read a portion of the hieroglyphs. You can't help but read it now that you've learned Ancient Osiriani. And the hieroglyphs read, Pool of Protection.
Someone drink it.
Well, Keryth, I mean...
Can we do, did our perception checks cover anything with this fountain, or do we need a separate one for that?
You can probably roll a separate one for this. Maybe roll an Arcana check to try and identify it.
Tariq is going to finish his prayer, and then he's going to, noticing that it says Pool of Protection, it's caught his interest, so he's going to step forward and kind of peer into the pool and study it a little bit.
Could I roll nature instead, since it's a pool?
You can, but I'll make the check a little harder. Keryth and Tariq. And you know what, Habibi, you rolled well enough. You know this too. This is a pool writhing with arcane energy. There's magical, arcane, abjuration magic flowing throughout this fountain as the water bubbles out of the top of this fountain into the pool below. You can't help but feel like a tingling spark of protective magic emanating from the water within. It seems sanctified and holy.
Tariq is gonna be the brave soul who's going to touch it first. He's just gonna dip his hand into it and see if that does anything.
You dip your hand in and it feels cool and refreshing.
So feeling cool and refreshing, he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna take a bigger handful using his other hand. He's gonna try and drink it a little bit.
Roll me a fortitude save. I'm kidding. I know you guys are super paranoid of fountains. As you drink down the water, you feel the protection of abjuration magic flow through you. It emanates first from your stomach, down your esophagus, out of your stomach, and up into your fingertips. And you feel like you gain a status bonus against saving throws, specifically against arcane magic. However, being a worshiper of Nethys, you feel that Nethys himself is granting you a higher protection. And you gain a double bonus of +2 bonus to arcane magic.
Guys, you gotta try this. It's pretty refreshing. I'm sure we could all use some hydration here after that big fight. And a long hike to this place.
Yeah.
Know it? Sure. I'll do it.
All right, now, Keryth, you similarly feel a source of refreshing magic. You only get a +1 status bonus, not being a worshiper of Tariq. A worshiper of Tariq. A worshiper of Nethys.
Worship you!
Tariq.
He said admires. He didn't say worship him.
Oh my gosh. But still, you also feel like a +1 bonus to magic, specifically arcane magic.
Habibi will go ahead and drink as well.
Habibi as well. +1 bonus to Habibi as well. All right. Is there anyone else who wants to partake in this fountain?
Yeah, I will. Sorry.
Tariq's going to turn back to Khepri and Ramses and is like, Khepri, you ought to try this.
All right. Tariq, can I scooch past you real quick? Sorry. Whoopsie daisy. And Khepri's going to come up here, and she's kind of short, so she's going to climb up on the edge of that fountain and take a sip as well.
And as a worshiper of Nethys, you feel a special connection to the healing and protective magic that is bestowed upon you. You receive a +2 bonus against protection from arcane magic.
Oh my goodness. Khepri feels great. Can Ramses get a little drink?
I guess
Ramses.
so. I didn't think about that.
Ramses is gonna lean over and do some yups.
And as a worshiper of
No, he's not. Get out of here. He gets the +1.
Is, though.
No.
His deity.
He's not
I'm
even
fixing-
self-aware. He can't worship Nethys.
I am able to put in here that his
No,
deity is Nethys.
No,
it's been done.
He just thinks that Nethys is a dog, not a god.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, goodness gracious.
All right, so what do you guys want to do?
I think I found a door.
Well, careful where you walk,
Keryth?
guys. We ran into
I
many
didn't
traps.
open it. Is this the door here to the west?
Yes. As you guys walk deeper into this nave, remember this whole place is completely dark except for the light coming off of Tariq's staff. There are two sets of double doors, one leading to the west and one leading to the east. Closer to the main stage and the dais up to the front of the chapel, there is a opening to the left and an opening to the right. So 5 exits out of this room, including the one you guys came from.
Who wants to open the door with me?
No.
Before I
All right,
Kepri's
so
backing
do it as
up.
it's double doors, right?
Yeah.
So on the
Khepri
count
and
of 3.
Tanhi, get over here.
I'm running. I was just so distracted by my reflection.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. All right, Tariq.
Go.
Wow. Only Keryth's door opened. Tariq didn't get the door.
Come on,
Wait,
Sophie.
can you do a perception check before you go rushing in?
Yes, that's a good
I
idea.
guess
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
Habibi.
the trap finder.
Only Habibi has learned from past
my
mistakes, it seems.
I certainly try.
Any bugs to trigger here? Just looking.
You guys? No, there are no bugs. Well, I mean, there are probably like tiny scarabs, maybe some like spiders moving around. Normal insects in the desert. No swarms, no hazardous insects that you guys need to be concerned about. But as you guys walk in here, you find yourselves in what has to be described as the priest's quarters. This short hallway connects to a shallow, empty pool to the western half of this room. Keryth, you're like 5 feet away from it. You assume that here, and there's like pulled curtains revealing it inside. You assume this is probably like the bathroom that they would, go in and bathe themselves. But to the north of Tariq and to the south of Tanhi, there are 2 curtains. And they're like parted by about an inch, and beyond you can see bedrooms.
Can Tariq detect any traps or anything?
No.
Is he spotting any traps?
No, this is a temple of worship that you don't suspect that people would trap this place.
Oh no, they just, make the walls like attack. Traps. Who would do that?
Khepri walks into this first bedroom and casts Detect Magic.
Into the first bed. No magic anywhere in your recent vicinity other than the magical energies of the Akhat still lingering within the building around you. It has not yet revealed itself again since you guys encountered it not too long ago.
Can we look under the bed and everything just to make sure that one of the keystones wouldn't be in the foundation of this room?
Sure.
Here, keystone.
Come on, keystone. Do keystone.
Where are you at?
Shocking no one, the random bedroom of priest number 7 is not the foundation of the building.
Shut up. Kepri's out.
All right.
And we don't see anything else in there that would be of value.
So you see like personal possessions, like things that would have survived through the ages, like a metal spoon here, or maybe like a goblet, something that the priest would have used to drink. But just personal belongings, nothing significant enough that would like be worth treasure, for example.
Nothing good enough for Septi.
Just random knickknacks here and there. There are the hallway down to the south seems to reveal many more doors, many more rooms similar to this. But
All
that's
right,
about it.
Risking a bolt in the shoulder, Tariq's gonna head down this hallway.
Bolt in the shoulder. Well, roll me a perception check if you don't mind.
One creepy little step at a time.
Okay. As you guys descend down this hallway to the south, entering this more this dormitory, basically is what you would call it. You see nothing but a series of cubicles encircling an open central space here, each separated from the common area by a curtain hanging from a rod over the doorway. And these curtains are thick and heavy. However, Tariq and Keryth.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
teamwork.
You both hear slight shuffling nearby.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
That doesn't bode well.
What would you like to do?
Can we tell from which direction, like whether it's on the left or right side? Because there's
Tariq, because
two
you're
sides.
like right next to both curtains. You hear it from the room to your northeast and the room to your southwest.
So I hear it in both.
Yes, you do.
Tariq's gonna turn back to the other group members, and he's going to kind of do like the, like puts his finger on his lips and like shh. And he's going to step in front of this door.
Curtain.
Or curtain, yeah. And kind of have his staff prepared. And he kind of motions for Tanhi to, like, come near to. And he opens it.
All right. And within this, what can only be described as a hand wash station, you see this zombie creature with its mouth agape.
Oh, no.
And as soon as you open it, suddenly it goes, "Rah!" It screeches out horrifyingly and lunges to attack. Everyone, roll for initiative. All right. Oh, perfect. The one right in front of you, Tariq, is going to lunge forward. First action. Second action. It's gonna try to punch you in the face with a fist. Fist strike to the face. And it gets a 21.
That counts.
5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, that's not too bad. That just tickled a little bit.
And that's the end of its turn.
It just tickled.
See, zombies are slow and lumbering. One of these bursts out from the curtain beside you, Tanhi, and it's going to try and do the same thing to you. That wasn't any sound effects, guys. That was my mouth. A 21 to hit, Tanhi.
That does hit.
Fantastic. Bludgeoning damage. You're going to take a 7 points to the face.
Yay.
And that's the end of its turn. Tariq, it is your turn.
Tariq didn't like that it just, like, immediately punched him. So he's going to, let's see, what would zombies be? I don't know. We've watched zombie-like
I don't
creatures.
think you guys have fought zombies before.
Yeah, that's what it says. Like, we haven't really... let's just do Gouging Claw. I like that one.
Gouging Claw?
Gouging Claw. Gets ripped into that flesh of those zombies. Ugh, I don't like that I said that. Alright, let's go for this.
Is it going to be... I think you get to choose
it's
between...
It's only 18.
Alright, 18 is actually going to hit.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
I am surprised. So the damage for that, and then the damage...
Are you doing slashing or piercing?
Let's do piercing.
Alright.
So this claw is going to kind of protrude from his staff and kind of ram its nails or whatever into this zombie flesh.
Gross.
For 6 bludgeoning and 6 piercing.
Fantastic. It takes 12 points of damage. Well done.
Nice.
So that is your first 2 actions. What's your third and final action?
And as he draws back, you see the staff go all like wavy wonky as the claws are still wavy wonky as claws are still like moving around the staff as he goes into Arcane Cascade.
Fantastic. I love it. I love seeing the Arcane Cascade. Tanhi, it is your turn.
Well, obviously, I'm going to rage.
Obviously.
Obviously.
She did the thing!
And then I'm going to strike the one that hit me.
Okay.
That came out of that room. Because how dare.
Always.
18 on the die for a 29.
Not bad. 29 is going to crit, actually.
Minimum damage, 14 points.
Damn. 14 points. Well, I have some good news. The slashing damage seems to have done especially potent damage. It takes 19 points of damage.
Should have gone with
that's
slashing.
Why I asked. It was one of those two. All right.
I'm going to try and hit again. I got a 12 on the die for an 18.
18 hits. Roll that damage.
14 points of damage.
Your hit did as much damage as your crit. 19 more points of damage. This third zombie, right before Khepri's gonna go, bursts out from the dormitory to the south. It kind of turns around the corner, goes, and it's lumbering, it's slow, but it seems like it has this latent power that can probably give it a burst of speed, hint, hint. And it's gonna target Tanhi, and it's gonna try to punch Tanhi in the face. I love to see it. Natural 20.
Come on.
Rude.
Are you kidding me?
All right, you're gonna take 16 points of bludgeoning damage, and that's it. That's its turn. Khepri, what do you got for me?
Well, Khepri is very lucky because she is exactly 30 feet from 2 monsters.
Oh, come
two
on.
that are right around
Oh,
Tanhi.
yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And she's going to do an
Okay.
electric arc.
Okay.
You know she has to.
I wonder, do zombies have very high reflex saves?
Nope. And then I have the damage already rolled just in case. 10 would be for the zombie below Tanhi, and then 11 for the one to the right of Tanhi.
I'll take the 11 for both of them, though, because you roll the damage once for both. But I rolled a 19 on the die for a success, not a crit success, and then a natural 1. Well, the one that rolled a natural 1 is going to critically fail. It's going to take double the damage, and the one that succeeded is only going to take half the damage, but it is very close to death because of that. You have 1 action remaining. What would you like to do with that 1 action remaining?
I am actually going to activate Ramses. I haven't done it in a while, and he's going to go ahead and move. He's going to move down. Sneak in under Tanhi. I know. And he's going to move over and flank with the one right next to her. And he is going to go ahead for his second action and try and do Jaws at the zombie right next to him with that flanking.
A very quick, nimble little dog. He bounces in between Tanhi's square and the open corner between these 2 zombies and bites down with a
22.
22 is a hit.
Yes. And that damage is going to be, pretty nice. 17 damage. 3 of it looks like it's going to be piercing.
Jeez, it had 12 hit points left. You rip apart the flesh and discombobulate. This zombie disintegrates into a husky pile of burnt ash and decayed corpses.
Beautiful. And that is the end of our turn.
Fantastic. Habibi, it is your turn. What do you got for me, buddy?
He is going to cast Disrupt Undead at the one that attacked Tanhi. So, like, directly south of her.
All right, let me roll a fortitude save while you roll that damage. Oh, come on. Fortitude's not their best save, but it's also not their worst. I got a 10 total, though, for a critical failure.
So take double of the 13 points of damage.
Oh, jeez. And this guy is so close to death. So close. So close.
And for my final action, I will go ahead and put up my shield because I have nothing better to do.
Fantastic. It's a good third action. All right, Keryth.
Spellcaster curse.
I know. What do you do with the third? Keryth, it's your turn.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna come to the south first. Yeah. And I can get all the way down here because I'm a fast boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Alright, and I'm going to attack the zombie that Tanhi has nearly decimated. May as well help her finish the job.
May as well.
Done.
Just a normal attack. That is an 11 on the die for a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Nice.
Roll that damage. How do you... Actually, you know what? Don't even roll the damage. How do you kill this thing?
Well, it's only 3 points of damage.
I had 1 hit point left.
Good
So
job,
we just
Keryth.
stab it through the chest, and Tanhi can just, like, look down, see the blade as it, like, retracts.
Like, that was kind of close to my face, you know?
And maybe it's, like, just an inch away from her nose, and her nose just, like, twitches, or her whiskers twitch or something. For my final action...
Overdrive?
Yeah,
that's
we're
what I
gonna do
thought.
overdrive.
I saw that coming.
Yeah,
All right.
Let me roll the crafting check. Standard DC, so DC 19, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just.
What'd you
I
get?
I only need a 6 on the die to get a
You
success.
rolled a 5, didn't you?
Aww.
I did.
Oh, you hate to see
I'm just gonna let it go though, because I can try again next round if things aren't dead.
Yeah.
So.
Well, these things are dead, but they're not completely destroyed. So this one is gonna burst out from the western bedroom this time, and it's going, and it's gonna lunge it towards Tariq. Come on, fist to the face, bada boom, bada bing, and we got 14. We're a miss.
For sure. Tariq definitely smacks its hand out with his staff. Parries it a bit.
It like reaches out and you just smack with the staff. I like it. This one down here to the south, round 2, top of the order. It's going to as soon as its turn begins, it just kind of like it starts warming up. You see its bones and limbs kind of crack into place as it seems to have like woken up out of this long decades, eons long slumber, and it's going to be quickened for this round, which means it is no longer slow. It has 3 actions this round. Its first action is going to be a strike on you, Tariq, but because of this sudden surge of energy and the speed that you did not expect, you are actually flat-footed and off guard to this attack.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's a great ability. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. You know, it could be worse, but, you know, I'll take it. We're going to do a melee fist strike to your face. Bada boom, bada bing. Come on, buddy. 19?
Yeah, that hits. Since I'm flat-footed.
Yes. All right, you're going to take
barely.
You're going to take a damage to the face.
A damage? Is that it?
A damage. How about 12 damages?
Oh, okay.
Second action, it is going to reach out. More. It's going to grapple you. It's going to grab you.
Oh, lovely.
Leaving you flat-footed. And then its third and final action, it's going to try and
you better not. Don't bite me.
It's going... Oh!
No!
I like that. Reflavoring it, it's going to bite you instead.
Shoot.
I didn't roll too well. 7?
Okay, thank God.
7?
A 7 is gonna be another little tickle.
It tickles? You want to be tickled by a zombie?
No, I was joking.
That's what I thought. All right, well, Tariq...
It didn't do anything. The zombie lost its teeth.
All right, Tariq. Well, Tariq, it is your turn. You're in Arcane Cascade. You're grappled by this thing. What do you got for me?
All right. We've established before that even though you're grappled, you can hit things.
Correct.
So Tariq is going to use his spinning staff as he's grappled, and you just start seeing like. Instead of being like a typically smooth spin that he would normally have, you just see he's gonna try and hit this thing that's behind him now because he's grappled, and then he's also gonna try to hit the other zombie that just came up beside of him too. So he's just kind of like wailing it around more than he is spinning it. And we'll see if that does anything. All right,
we'll
so his first attack. We'll say his first one's going for the one that's got him grappled. Oh, so close to a nat 20. It's 19 on the die for 30.
That's actually a crit, regardless.
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and do damage and stuff for that, or roll the other one?
Roll damage for that one.
Okay, roll the damage for that one. And so I get to hit critical, and because I'm in Arcane Cascade, I also get the club trait.
Okay.
Says that you knock the target away from you up to 10 feet. How does that work if I'm grappled? Does it just make me ungrappled?
Yeah, it does actually, because it's no longer within reach. It just has to let you go. Okay.
So, I am now grappled, I guess. And it also takes 17 damage. 3 of that's piercing.
Some of that is piercing. All right. Well, it takes the 17 points of damage, and you are no longer grappled by this creature.
Okay, and then once he kind of gets the pressure of that grapple released, he's going to kind of lunge forward a bit to get that other one. Hopefully it will hit too. Let's try for that one with a 23.
A 23 is a hit, not a crit. We'll go ahead and roll damage.
And it only takes 6 bludgeoning, 1 piercing, but 7 total.
Not too bad. You recharge your spell strike. You have 2 actions remaining. What would you like to do?
So Tariq is going to once again slam his staff down, and as he's slamming it into the ground, you can see it kind of grow into a 2-handed grip again, and therefore reach and all that other jazz that
all that jazz
he gets with 2-handed grip. And from his staff you see these bolts of electricity as he's going to cast electric arc.
Electric arc. All right.
How much that cast Arcane Cascade?
Arcane Cascade. All right. Reflex saves. Here they both are. Natural 1, of course, and a natural 5 for a critical failure, and a 12.
Oh my gosh! I got max damage. 9 points of damage.
Well, the one who critically failed is completely dead, and the one who failed is going to be very badly damaged, but not completely dead. It is Tanhi's turn, however, and I think I know where this is going.
Well, first I gotta get over...
You can move past me.
Well, I was gonna say, if I move north of you, Tariq, then he has cover. And I really can't. I don't feel comfortable with my axe near your face.
Pretty face.
Very pretty face. So yeah, acrobatics. Yes. So acrobatics to go west.
All right.
Through 12 on the die for an 18.
An 18 is barely enough, but you manage to make it. Nimble as a cat, you tumble through.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna spend my last 2 actions striking.
You might not need to.
9 on the die for a 20.
20 hits.
Okay. 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage, because of its weakness, is going to be enough to just brutally kill this thing. You cleave it in twain. Yes. It falls into a pile of ash as it disintegrates. All the zombies are now killed, and you guys have just killed all the priests of Nethys. How do you feel about that?
Oh.
I'd do it again!
You know what? Hold that thought. Let me know what you guys feel about that sacrilege next week. I'll see you guys later.
We just killed priests!
We did not kill them. They were already dead.
But they with them.
Okay, so...
Yeah, it's not like we can rest them back. It's not like we can rest them back. Rest them killed.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the episode. If you liked what you heard, then please like, share, or subscribe to The Mithril Tabletop. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, or Instagram. Feel free to email us at themithraltabletop@gmail.com. We'll see you next week. Music and sound effects are provided to you by Envato Elements. The Mummy's Mask is copyright 2014. Mummy's Mask images, characters, and artwork are a trademark of Paizo Incorporated.